Welcome to Cameron House Marina. I'm Ruben from Marine Sales Scotland. We start off the new year with a brand new 2023 hull number Regal 20 Express. Now she's powered by a Mercruiser 6.2 litre 300 horsepower petrol V8 engine. Finished with the striking and standout black subsurface hull, Tahiti white waterline stripe that then blends in seamlessly with the swim platform that has sea deck on the back of it. Black hull, which I don't know if you can see on the video there, blends in with the window line on either side, and then again just up top a black boot stripe. Now going all the way up to the bow, we have a galvanized anchor, stainless steel and also chain inside, and then a remote controlled spotlight. Power tower, full canvas enclosure as well. Let's take a look inside at more detail. She is a very much feature saturated boat. Everywhere you look there is a specification that is designed to make your boating life easier and more convenient. The transom, the swim platform, we have got sea deck down there. It's a soft composite that's grippier when wet, and that has Regal cut into the flooring on the port side. We've got pop-up cleats on either side, one right next to the reboarding ladder if you go in for a swim. And then you've got zonal control for the Fusion stereo. So you have your speakers on the back here, which allows you to rouse up your neighbours in the evening times when you are docked at the jetty. There's also a towing eye just in the middle of that, and then a control for the stereo just at the transom entranceway there on the port side. Shore power plug-in. And then if we pull this up, we have our shore power lead in here and also a nice fender locker. Clamps that down again. Transom shower off to the port side, that just pulls out. And then we currently have the aft bench in the reclination setting. So for example, if you were docked in a bay, the sun's out, you want to sit out here, dangle your feet over the edge, you can do that. You can then, just with a lever, click that and that will drop it back, or it will also set the backrest to here, and that will allow you to face someone if you're dining out under the canopy. Just like that, it is sat down in the day bed, and then all we need to do is pull this up, push it one back, and that is her set like so you can face each other and have a conversation. Then we've got more storage as well underneath this locker here. Perfect. While we are on the subject of storage, let's get it all done and out of the way. There's another locker in here next to your battery isolators, and then you have a trash receptacle and some more storage space as well. Let's get the table in. Teak high quality table on an S-leg, and it will swivel and rotate depending on what you want to do with it. Now behind that then we have another speaker and twin cup holders. All of this area here, all the cockpit is serviced by the cockpit wet bar. Okay, now that consists of our Igloo cool chest. There's two and a half fridges on board. You have 2 refrigeration drawers, and then you have your cool chest here that you can fill with ice, and that is 23 litres. You then have another cool chest, or a refrigeration drawer as they call it, just in here. And then there is your fridge down in the galley. Cockpit wet bar has 2 cup holders, some buttons behind for the arch lights, the bilge lights and the electric hatch lift, and then you have your enamel sink as well. Grab rail is perfect for transitioning forwards and backwards throughout the cockpit. I guarantee if you're a day over 40 years old, you will at least once in your life have said, modern build quality is just not quite as good as things used to be back in my day, back in the olden days when things were properly put together. Well, I beg to differ. See here on this Regal, you try and shake things, all the fixtures and fittings, everything is solid and firm. It's all bolted down the way it should be. When you have a look in around the engine bays, in around hatches, the thickness of the gel coat is super thick. It's built the way that things should be. Now with that old style build quality, you do then get your modern flair. Things like your quilted stitching here. Look at the titanium contrast there, the grey with the white. The vast majority of the boat, the vinyl is white. We then have our titanium accents, works well with the seagrass flooring. And because maybe the boat's slightly heavier than its other counterparts, Regal have trademarked a hull called Fast Track. Now this is where it gets interesting. There's a step in the hull, and that forces air as you're going along. That forces air under the bow, and it means that the boat is riding on a cushion of air. It gives you less drag, which means better performance, better fuel efficiency and sharper handling. We then have twin speakers next to 3 cup holders ingressed into that area so they're not in the way. Your cup holders, your beers are safe. And then look at, again, all the finer details, Regal logo embossed in there and here, and also that quilted stitched area. We then have a bolster that we can lift up, subwoofer just underneath the chaise lounge, and then C-deck that quilts over each of these steps as you get up onto the bow. Single hatch just removes, and then that allows you onto the foredeck. The helm position, again, there's a bolster. It will take 2 people, probably more ideally suited for 1. We have an electronic control, so it's a fly-by-wire, and then centrepiece adjustable steering wheel. Garmin VHF radio, all your buttons, so your bilge blower, aft bilge, nav lights, cockpit lights and wiper, electric windlass, underwater lights in blue, power tower up, down, and your horn. So the entirety of this tower here will collapse if you need bridge clearance, and because we're fixing onto a structure, when we're underway the canopies do not flap around because it's not a frame, it's a solid part of the boat, so it's very undramatic when we're underway. We have trim tabs here, also a bow thruster, and then flush mount twin Garmin displays, so one for your engine instruments and then your other one for navigation or sonar. We'll take one sweeping look at the cockpit. Let's take a look inside. So the flooring choice was called Toasted Oak. We've gone with pure white for the saloon. We have the Belgian linen package and a fully equipped galley as well. In there is your aft berth galley. Clearly this will convert into a double, and then we have our heads compartment. So the heads has an electric flush toilet. There's also a blower just up the back where you may be able to see, because this is a wet head. Our shower faucet lives up there, so we can use this for a shower should we need to. Calorifier on board, also get hot water through the engine. In there, toilet roll holder storage, and then more behind each of the mirrors. And look at that, it comes complete with your own embossed Regal towels. More of those sat on top of the toilet as well, and a toilet protector for those days that you do want to use the shower, and that just prevents everything from getting soaking wet. But full standing headroom in there for someone who is 6'2" or under. A nice big U-shape width, and that is what makes these Regals so unique. Perfectly at eye line, you have these hull side waterline windows. Now we then have blinds that we can detach, and just like so, you can pull them down. It's the first time I've ever seen anything like this. You then just pop stud the blinds in, and that way, if you are at dock, maybe the sun's rising, someone goes past you with the wave rock, it doesn't mean your curtains are flapping around all the time. They're fixed in the one position. As we sort of look round here, now you'll see there's a disjointment in the cushion at the front. That is because this section will lift up to fit this table, should we want to put that in there to then drop all this to turn it into a double bed. You can see how the backrests have just simply detached, and this is an ease to set up. It's almost joyful. It took me all of 30 seconds there, and with the click of a finger. Notice again how you have skylight, an escape hatch there, another skylight here. All sections will open, and there are blackout blinds for absolutely everything on the boat. At its longest point here, we have 6 feet and 4 inches worth of length. Storage in abundance, one locker, another one there, and another one here. We can then put the table in there. It will sit perfectly on top of the groove, allows us to then close this over. That sits flush, you wouldn't even know that the table was in there, and that allows us to move on with the rest of the boat. I'm sure everyone appreciates it's a very bright and spacious feel. Loads of elements of natural light coming in here. Light oak as well on the galley, and our white, or cloud as they call it, Corian high quality worktop. Cooking facilities include an alcohol electric burner. We then have a microwave oven. There's also a grill setting on that too. And here is our AC and also DC power control and our tank monitor. Underneath, fridge with a small freezer compartment that runs off the 12 volts, so you will get that while you are out at sea. And then if I open this locker here, you notice that has fitted perfectly in there, and it also fits perfectly on top of the sink to give you one smooth worktop in case you need it. King and Queen have their quarters to stern. There are 2 curtains, one there and also here, that pull across. They meet in the middle to give you privacy in the back here. The Belgian linen option we have gone for, that gives you full linen for all your bedding. Grab and go storage lockers up at the back. Notice how they have put them on the overhang, so you do have more space for your feet to stretch out. Very comfortable back here. They've put this midship, of course, because there's less wave splash and less slap. opening porthole curtains to close that across too. Everything there was shown and displayed in complete natural daylight. And the ambience of the boat, it all radically changes when we start turning lights on and when the sun goes down. The charm of the vessel is really personified at night time. Underwater lights illuminate the ocean, then we have blue LEDs, 3 in the cockpit, and then also the dash, which has a backlit, downlit LED train running through it as well. One there, there's also another one just as you enter into the cockpit. And then you can see both screens are now on, they are flush mount, and then we have these blue LEDs running behind the whole module. Taking a look downstairs in the saloon, again down lighting coming from under the eaves on both sides. You can then in the morning, if you want to cremate everyone, turn the all round white light on. That is ultra bright for ambience in the evening times. This is probably going to be your preferred setting of choice. The heads is well illuminated, and as is the aft cabin. Let's take a look at the engine. She's powered by a Mercruiser 6.2 litre 300 horsepower V8 petrol engine. We are Mercruiser dealers here, and I can tell you that you get up to 5 years warranty on both the engine and the outdrive. Space towards the port side where the bulkhead is for storage, and that there is your calorifier for the hot water tank. More storage space in here as well. Now, I am very biased when it comes to the Regal product because I have one myself, a 2018 ESX. It has never once let me down. I'm Ruben from Marine Sail Scotland, where fun in the water begins.